I'm an animal of habit, especially when it comes to scrolling on Netflix. I will often scroll through Netflix looking at all of the options, surveying the field, seeing what's out there, but yet still skip over the thousands of options waiting for me, often opting to fall back into a comfort show or movie. Even if somebody is pestering me over and over again saying, you have to watch this, it's so good, I often still won't watch it. It takes a very unique and perfect storm to get me to be like, maybe I should watch it. The Alpinist is a great example of this.
Did you see that documentary, The Alpinist?
No, I almost
Netflix?
started watching it.
It's incredible, dude. This guy.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
This guy just climbs up. He climbs up frozen waterfalls.
Yeah.
Just not roped in at all.
Yeah.
Just free solos the side of these mountains. It's amazing.
Yes, it took the suggestion from a comedian on a comedy podcast to get me to finally watch The Alpinist, or Alpinist. Not sure exactly how to say it. I'm glad I listened to this suggestion because this documentary has since affected me greatly. I've been talking a lot about these past few weeks about where I'm at, what I'm trying to do, what I want to do, and this documentary just really struck a chord with me. The documentary focused on a young climber out of Canada, Marc-Andre Leclerc. He grew up in British Columbia, Canada as a non-traditional kid with ADHD who didn't learn the same way as all the other kids. His mom quickly pulled him out of school and homeschooled him, teaching him more about nature and exploring the wilderness, something much more suited to his needs. This, alongside getting books about adventuring and mountaineering, sparked his interest and love for the outdoors that eventually grew into a hobby where he taught himself how to rock climb. Fresh out of high school, he moved to Squamish, British Columbia, which is the center of the Canadian climbing scene. There, being a young man, life kind of got the best of him. He partied a lot. To describe how different he was from everybody else around him, even in the unique climber circle of unique people, when his friends would want to take, say, 1 tab of acid and have a calm, cool night and kind of chill out for the night, he would want to take 6 tabs of acid and disappear for 20 hours. He quickly gained some notoriety in the climbing scene. He would often go out on days-long trips, just go out and just climb a bunch of mountains, not tell anybody about it, not document it, and then come back and tell them what he did. Just did things differently than everybody else. So much so that he has gotten recognition from some of the most famous climbers in the world. In fact, Alex Honnold, the subject of Free Solo, recognizes that even this guy was different than anything he had ever seen before.
People think that free soloing that I'm doing seems crazy, but what I'm doing is on rock. I mean, it's safe in a lot of ways. Like the medium is super solid. And then I see Marc-Andre free soloing on ice and snow. It just shows so much experience on such different kinds of terrain.
He just went about things differently than anybody else. He didn't need much money, he didn't need a job, he would just work for a couple weeks, save up some money, and then just live in the wilderness because all he needed was him, his equipment, and the mountains. As time went on, he would explore more of the world, chasing his passion of mountaineering and wanting to make his dent in the history of mountaineering. The way he went about things was so different than anybody else. He actually eventually got engaged and married to this lady named Brett. Now, when you get a loved one, things get a little complicated because you don't want to be in such a dangerous position, but when asked why he puts himself in such positions, he described it simply as, well, I've always loved the outdoors and being outside, and always just trying to go out there and have the most crazy, kind of calm, fun adventure I can. And there's nothing more fun to me than just being up on the mountain, sort of cruising around. Yes, he used the words cruising around for hanging off of mountain faces and dangling thousands of feet in the air. When he goes out there and then comes back after days, his girlfriend said that he often comes back feeling different. He comes back with a different energy, this sort of aura around him that is very infectious and different than when he left. Mark described it as when you're in the wilderness and you go on this solo adventure and you have this experience with the wilderness, it sort of changes you. It can affect your energy and your outlook on life, and that can stick with you a while, especially if it was a big expedition. This is the thing that really stuck with me from the documentary. The idea that he went out in nature and didn't need anything else, didn't need a lot of money. He didn't even have a phone. In fact, at one point he had a phone, but he left it in a bag with some smoked salmon and a fox stole it. So he decided, that's enough of that. He would simply go out into the wilderness, fly across the world, go wherever he wanted to with just the limited amount of money he needed to survive and the limited amount of equipment he needed to do the trek And that was more fulfilling for him than anything else possibly could have been. It was spiritual, it was energizing, it was something different than he had ever experienced. And that's what really resonates with me. That's what I hold on to from this documentary. That's what I want for myself. If I can even reach an ounce of that sort of gratification or fulfillment from such a not mundane but calm experience of being in the wilderness, that would be incredible. I hope just one day I can find that with my work. Luckily, I have people around me that sort of inspire me to be better, because I'm always, especially when I watch documentaries like this, I want to do better. I want to make changes with my life to learn more about myself and about the life experience. Luckily, I have some good friends around me that help play into this cause, one of which is a person I'm living with now. He's one of my best friends that I know in the whole entire world, and he is a great person. He's somebody that inspires me to be better and do better myself and be a better person and be more compassionate and caring, because he himself is incredibly compassionate and caring. Hell, he's letting you live with him for a week. That man is Ozan King. Okay, so Ozan King.
Okay.
Would you say that you're a kind person?
Ooh, quite subjective, but I try to be the kindest person that I can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should be staring at you or the camera.
No, it doesn't matter, either way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I know it's kind of...
No, I just try to be the kindest person to people that I want to be kind towards as well. It's good to be generalized with your kindness, but sometimes there's going to be assholes in the world. Of
course.
So sometimes you just have to be realistic. I like people smiling. I like, seeing people happy. So I think if I'm happy, or if I'm, giving off like a caring motion to them, and they gain back or are happy from that motion, then I'll be happy because of that. And second is if you do things like... No. That's not what I was trying to say. Wait, what is it? What is it? If you... Oh boy.
You're good. There's no stress. I can edit this out, so...
Thank God. Yeah. Just treat people the way you want to be treated as well. Like, be realistic with your expectations of how you want to be seen by others, and show off your true self. And if your true self is just being normal, and sometimes just being normal around people is just the kindest thing that you could do. Just don't be overly, if you're angry, don't show off you're angry and make other people angry. That's kind of the main reason. I don't want to make other people's lives be affected by my own. Like, when you get a call from someone, say like a telemarketer, or from a person that you just don't want to get a call from right now, that 15 minutes or say even 5 seconds that you may lose from that, even the thought of it, or the thought of it occurring, kind of gets you in an annoying place of mind, right? I don't want to get in the way of someone's like good day as well, and I don't want to make someone's bad day even worse.
Yeah, so I guess it's really just trying to make sure everybody has like the best day possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to ruin something that, especially if you're like on a streak of good days, or like you're looking towards a weekend or something. Yeah, I don't want to get in the way of that.
You just gotta be the things that you can kind of spell. K-I-N-D-E. Oh wait, no, that's the chocolate. Oh no, that's Kinder. Next question. Do you fold or crumple your toilet paper?
How does this fit into the story of the podcast?
I think it's important to realize that you're not going to be yourself every single day, because that's kind of impractical and it just doesn't make sense. And it kind of would come off as fake as well if you're just trying to be this either bubbly character or just a character of yourself that you aren't every day. If it takes 5 minutes out of your day, just think about it. You probably have, let's not be realistic with the 24 hours, because you're not doing something every 24 hours, but you probably have like 15 hours a day where you probably could spend 5 minutes, like maximum, just doing something for someone else or for yourself. Like, sometimes kindness can go both ways. If you do something for yourself, you'll probably do something better for other people as well. So.
Marc-Andre Leclerc had his weird, unique examples or reasons for why he wanted to climb and explore the world and be in his environment. Ozan King has other similar reasons for why he behaves the way he does, even in his, some might say, more mundane life. They both have things that drive them and things that have created this force within them that both inspire them on some level. And these people then inspire me to do better, to reach farther, to push myself more, to make changes, to do something, to try and better myself, and just gain more from my time here on this floating rock. It's people like Marc-Andre Leclerc and Ozan King that make the world a better place, or a more exciting place, or a place to fall in love with, to cherish, to get it completely enveloped in, because what else are you going to do with your time here? Why do anything else with it than spend time with the ones you love and care deeply about the things you do and the people you share it with? You gotta be patient with life. You gotta take it as it comes to you and still do the most with what you can. Despite their maybe wild difference of interests, they both inspire me in different ways and make me want to do more and be better. And that's ultimately what I think is most important. It's people like Ozan King that make me want to be better, and people like Ozan King that sort of make me keep doing this podcast, because it makes me be better. It makes me think about these things and think about what I can do more. So one thing I'll ask of you is to do what you can to be more like Ozan and Mark. Do what you can to better the world and make the world a better place and make your life better, because that's really all you can do. That is all for this week's episode of the Procrastinator Podcast. I've been your host, Matthew B. Stein, and you have been fantastic as always. And I'll see you in next week's episode of the Procrastinator Podcast. Peace out.